Thanks for staying with us. We still have our business coach here with us, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. And before the break, he was talking about the 3 levels. That's the emulation, observing, and then training, and how you can catch. Because sometimes people work somewhere and you have no clue. You're just there, you just go and you start thinking, and your mentality is the same mentality, like, things are hard. When people are going in the same industry, and they're seeing things and they're able to improve themselves. So what was going to add to that?
Yeah, so when Nima asked the question, what came into my head was what I did. Because when you want to achieve what people that have gone ahead have achieved, and you feel like they are not giving you the reply you want, it is by observing what they are doing. So I checked what trainings did they do, what programs do they attend, what communities are they members of. So when I started following Dr. Olumide, it was based on, okay, there's somebody I've seen who follows him and has results. So I said, I must follow the same person. When I heard they went to LBS, I said, okay, these people, all these people that I've seen, every single one of them have achieved success. They all went to LBS. Let me go to LBS. So if I see 2 or 3 people that they said they read a book, I'll go and read that book because it means that book gave them value. And I asked not what they did today. I went on Instagram page, Facebook page, and scroll down 3, 4, 5 years ago to see what they were doing. And by seeing what they did then, it helped me to understand what I needed to do now. Because you can be looking at them now and thinking it is what they did now that gave them the result. It's what they did 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. So I believe that it's extremely powerful that what she asked as the question is something that everybody in your office, if the person, even if it's a corporate world, not entrepreneurship like my own, in the corporate world, they say, mind the gap. Where I am, I'm a junior executive. I want to become senior executive. Go to the LinkedIn of the senior executive. Check down how many courses he did IMC, he did CMC, he did PMP. All those things that he has written there, you go and do it. If you do it in 5 years, you would be even ahead of that person's position to achieve growth. But let me bring you back to business sustainability because it is a lot of work. This year, I've spent more on consultancy and I've earned less money as a company. And it did not make sense to even people within my office. Why are we spending more money paying consultants, paying for training when our account balance is not balancing? Can you help break down the importance of training and capacity building and consulting even when it looks like the money is not working?
One of the major mistakes that a lot of people do is that when they want to cut costs, they cut training budgets. And that's a major mistake because, you see, if your people don't know better, they cannot do better. I'll give you a true life story. Many years ago, if you know the story of the banking sector, when the new generation banks started, they started setting up these schools where when people are employed in the bank, they now send them for like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. They camp them, feed them, do everything, train them to understand the banking culture and also continue to pay them salary. Then came this new MD of one of the banks and said, no, we cannot be training them and paying them at the same time. So let them do training under the senior people that are there. So they scrapped that, thinking they were cutting costs. And then they brought one guy, put him under another guy. The guy comes into the banking sector, not understanding policies and all those stuff. He just listened to the man like, yes, sir, yes, sir. Because you're in a culture of yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And the person who was saying yes, sir to that was like his hero, was a fraud. And the guy was using him to commit all kind of, oh yeah, sign this one. Yes, sir. But if you have gone to training, even if they say sign, you will read before you sign. You will not just sign because your guys. So he went through that. By the time they will discover the fraud, they now call the guy and say, that's your guy said I should sign. Hey, it's me that signed. It's your guy that said I should sign. He said, this I didn't read those. What happened? Did they not train? He said, no, I was not trained though. They now realize that's when they went back to the training. So training is important because now it's all this consulting and all this things you are looking, you are preparing for the next phase of your business. Your people are salary earners. They are not entrepreneurs. You are the entrepreneur. You know what you are doing. You are seeing what they are not seeing. It may take 2, 3 years, 5 years, to say, oh, that's what Oga was doing there. So it is important for you to train yourself, train your people, and prepare them for the next phase. Because you don't manufacture the weapons of war on the battlefield. You don't manufacture your weapons of war on the battlefield. It is before the battle that you prepare the weapon. That's what you are doing.
Let me take this caller.
Yeah, okay.
Usman from Abuja has been holding. Good morning, Usman.
Good morning, madam. Well, everything Dr. Olumide is saying, I agree with him. However, those people cannot work in Nigeria.
What's his name?
All what he's saying is correct, but they cannot work in Nigeria.
It's what you're saying
Can never work. In America, they have a mindset, emotional mindset that makes all those systems work. But in Nigeria, we don't have that mindset. our training does not give us a mindset on what is. If you think I'm lying, many of us have read a lot of books. It does not work. Whether you float and a not fair or it's not fair, before you can get a contract, you have to buy your way in, which is going to bring in corruption. So what he's saying is correct, but it will not work in Nigeria. We need to.
What you're saying.
Okay, yeah. So let me. Very much, so let me help. It's already working. I'm a testimony. This is a testimony right here before your very eyes. It's already working. You see, one of the things we need to understand is that many times bad news spread fast. And good news, because of humility, everybody just wants to say, okay, our culture, when your yam is big, don't cover it. It's already working. And when he said, we read the books, we do this, I've said this over and again, let me repeat again. Principles are universal. But you see, when you want to now apply those principles, it is personal, contextual, and geographical. So I can come here now and tell you real estate is very powerful, but not in Ukraine, because they are in war. It doesn't mean what I've said is wrong, but it means that when you now look at your context, at this stage, it may not be what I should do. So any principle, everything I've said that you say is right, is already working. There are people in Nigeria doing businesses, making money, and it is working for them because they know how to contextualize what they are going through. So he says something like, before you can get business, you have to bribe somebody. Even if you're a lawyer, you may not be able to get business. Now, you see, what you are calling bribery is because when you needed the relationship, you did not have the relationship. But if you understand relationship, you are supposed to have a relationship before you need the relationship. So you start being a relational person. There are people that you know that don't know you. There are people that you know, they know you, but they are not powerful enough to help you. There are people that are powerful enough to help you, they don't know you. So when you understand it, before you get to a point where you need people, start making friends. Start making friends, start connecting with people, start being good to people. Hey, hello, how are you? You get their complimentary card, and then once in a month, just to check on you. Not because you are looking for anything, you are investing, you are sowing. The day you now want to withdraw from that relationship, and you now say, I'm sorry, oh, that man is always staying in touch. That person is always staying in touch. That's how relationships are built. It's not when you now need somebody, you now go there. How will you come to me to say you are a powerful lawyer? And I've been in business for 15 years. You mean I don't know any lawyer before you? I will now give you business. It's the people I've known that I've tested that I will, but if I don't know you, but when you were in secondary school, you came for a seminar where I was there, you started following me, and you always, by the time you go, oh, that girl has graduated, how are you? There will be something that says, okay, let's encourage this one too to start. Okay, you know, you're just starting, this is 200 million, just start with this 2 million one first. Let's start it. That's the way it works. So these things work.
Let me talk about leadership, because I know that at the summit, you're going to have, talking about leadership focus. A lot of leaders are frustrated because there are two parts of leadership. There's a leader and there's the followers. And I think that's what the last caller was trying to allude to. The mindset of the followers are just not right. In a company, you invest, you do all the works, you do the textbook things, you train them, and many of them are just not bought into the vision. So as a leader, you feel like your hands are tied. You're doing everything Dr. Olumide asked you to do, but yet the people I have hired, they are just not aligned.
Yeah, I agree with you. See, that's why I said earlier on, you see, perception, perspective. We're all sitting on this table. Because of where you are sitting, it affects your perspective. Because of the lenses you have on, it affects your perspective. I used to be there. The way when I speak with authority and with confidence is because I don't talk theory. I have suffered. I have made mistakes. So I speak from the point of I know what I'm talking about. I have trained. You will train them, they will leave you. They will be using your office to apply for another job. You will do until I gain perspective. That look, it will continue like that. You can't change that one. Don't worry about what you cannot change. Change your perspective and see that anyone that comes here, this is a training school to prepare them for the next place they are going to. Once I did that, and even now, as they say, well, so whenever you are leaving, let us know. I don't have that connection of, oh, this one will soon leave me. I pour. When next they go. But guess what? Most of the people I trained that I let go of, they are coming back today. So in the real estate, pertinence. All these along, they are my realtor. People that were collecting commission that I was giving 5,000, giving 10,000. Do you understand? On live page, all these people, look at Tokyo, how many years? 3 years. Look at the realm she has gone to. But today now, I can sit down. If I tie all of them down, they will still be my company now. Maybe we'll be talking minimum wages now, this, you have to pay us this. But they are doing amazingly well. Let us change our perspective. So as a leader, you cannot control what you cannot control.
Let me take
control the one you can control.
From Abuja, and I come to you, Amaka. Good morning, Woke. Hello, good morning, you're live.
Yeah.
Your name is Woke from Abuja. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think that one thing I want to say about the perspective of
It's a bit muffled. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's very muffled, but go ahead.
How about now? Can you hear
Yes,
me now?
Better.
All right. Thank you. So, as I was saying, from the perspective of your guest earlier, he made mention of something regarding our leaders. That is the first mistake I feel like we all make. These people don't possess any, trait of a leadership. We should be calling them rulers in the first place. Because a leader should lead by example, as you rightly said. How many of them are now leading by example? None. And the ironic part is still that the citizens will still be like, in support of these people at the end of the day. So who are we now deceiving?
All right. Thank you very much, Woke. Let me go on a short break. When I come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We still have our business coach with us today, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. You had a question?
Yes, please. Okay, so I believe that we can't talk about business, not talking about money, right? Or financing or funding. So what are your thoughts in terms of what will you say to business owners who they want to scale up? They are scared to scale up, maybe because of interest rates now with the banks and stuff, that they might not be able to pay back with the different policies coming up that might impede on those finances. What do you say to them in terms of their mindsets of scaling up, taking a loan, getting funding, because most people want to do that, but they are scared to scale up their businesses. What do you have to say about that?
The richest man in Africa is Dangote, and I think they said they keep overtaking themselves. But we all know he's a debtor, he's owing. So there is a difference between good debt and bad debt. But before we even talk about going to a bank loan, I said earlier on that businesses start with startup phase, growth phase, scaling phase, stability phase, growth and expansion, there is sustainability. But now, a lot of people in this part of the world, one thing I've noticed is that we want to own everything by ourselves. It is better to have 10% of $1 billion than to have 100% of 1,000. So many times, when it's time to scale up, investors, venture capitalists will not give you money when you have not had something that they can see as either an hypothesis, a point, or something that has worked. So once you have done something that has produced a level of results, that you have a track record to say, this is our books, this is the trajectory, this is how we have gone, then look for investors. Because investor fund is a cheaper fund. They come in as stakeholders. They are not expecting you to be paying them this return every year. Or no. They are coming in to join. So if I need, let's say I need $1 billion to take my business to another level. If I go to bank to borrow $1 billion, I'm going to be paying interest, 30, 32, different things, and a lot of things can change. Economy can shift on me. But if I say, okay, I want to do $1 billion, this business is now a 50 billion business, a 30 billion business. But for that $1 billion, I want to let go of 10% of my business. That means I will get that $1 billion without having to pay interest, but letting go of 10%. And that 10% I've let go gives me the $1 billion to now work at my pace and do better. So we need to always think beyond just going to bank. Bank, at a point you may have to go, but there are things you can do without having to go to the bank. There are things you have, and that is where creative finance comes in. And it's better to operate with that. Use what you have, or use the low-hanging fruit than to go to bank. That banking should be like a last resort, because what many people don't know, for every loan you collect in any financial institution, there are two things you must sign. It's part of the fine print. Number one, they can change the interest rate at any time. And you have to agree to it. Number two, they can call for the money at any time. Even if they say, well, I'll give you this loan for 5 years, they can decide to say, we have changed our mind, we can no more do 5 years. We need our money in 6 months. And you have to agree to it because it's part of, they are there to run business. And things can change. Central Bank can come up with a law that cancels whatever they have agreed with you.
Let me take Toby from Meron. Thanks for calling, Toby. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know Mr. Olumide talked about the community that is coming on. But not all of us have happened to yes. So thank you for giving us this opportunity. Sir, I would like to ask, how long should you be in business or before you know, oh, this is not going to work, then you have to back out? Is there a time for you to know, this is not going to work, let me just do something else? Or do you just be patient and keep doing it? Because we know in Nigeria things are not really going as it should be. So is there a time for you to know, this is not for me, let me go into something else? Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to answer you, but let me say this. One of the things we need to understand that in life, there are different aspects of life that does not have a yes or no answer, and they don't have an answer that is generic to everybody. Because different business, different industries, different sectors have different gestation period and different factors. Amazon, they kept investing in Amazon, according to the information in the public domain, for about 13 or 17 years before it started making money. Facebook, 8 years. They just kept putting money, because they believed that it was like a bottomless pit, but we can see the result now. So we know what Elon Musk has done, putting billions upon billions, losing money. But I will say to you, to now give you my own answer, 5 years. Whatever you do, I've studied, I've been in business terrain now 37 years. I've run businesses that have failed, I've run businesses that have succeeded on a global scale. So I can tell you that anything you do, and you put in everything, you are developing yourself, you are doing adjustment, and 5 years is not showing results. It's time to move on and do something else. And that may mean, listen to this, a change of strategy, a change of location, a change of position, or a change of business. So it may not mean that you shut the business, but it may mean that the strategy I'm using is not working. I have to change the strategy completely. It may mean a change of location. This location is not going to help this business. I need to move to a new location. It may mean a change of position. I am not the kind of person that can make this business work. So let me step aside and be a founder and get somebody else to be the manager of this business. And it may not be a change of business completely to say this business is not going anywhere. And then you check out. So 5 years.
You know, I know somebody who does business, and the person is not trying to scale. And it's a business that is very, very lucrative.
Scalable.
It's scalable. But the person is comfortable with this small money that is coming. And people are trying, and there are men, because a lot of men don't like to go for training. I don't know why. Maybe I don't want to be sexist, but there are lots of information out there that can help a man to grow his business. But sometimes ego gets in the way. Or feel like, oh, you're a businessman, you know these things. What does Olumide woman want to teach me? What does Larry Richard? I beg, leave me. I can manage what I'm doing for myself. But so how do you help somebody who knows he's doing the basics and he's getting results, but he needs information. He needs to be encouraged to get to the next level. How do you help that kind of person?
You cannot help a chicken to fly. If it is not there, it's not there. You cannot teach a man anything except to help him to discover what's already within himself. When you try to motivate a chicken to fly, you frustrate yourself and frustrate the chicken. Chickens have wings, birds have wings. Birds can fly, chickens cannot fly. Wings does not equal to flight. What makes them to fly is on the inside of them. So most of the time, what we are supposed to do is to continually see how we can help people bet hunger and desire inside them so that they will be the one looking for the solution by themselves. Everything that is externally motivated without an internal agreement will never work. That's why they say you can take a horse to the river because you cannot force the horse to drink. But to force the horse to drink, there is something you can do. Put salt in his mouth. Start putting salt in the mouth of the horse will become thirsty and look for water by himself. So most of the time, so how do you put salt in the mouth of the horse? Put them in environments and around people and places that inspires and motivates them to be better. You see, she came into the Billionaires Conclave. Before she came, I can't afford that. I said, look, okay, let me pay instrumentally. I said, forget. If you are paying instrumentally, you are not ready. stretch. I said, when you enter that place and you see your mates and see younger people, you will wake up. When she came, say, what is our 30-something, also billion Nigeria tower, you know. People are talking billion turnover as if, is it not the same Nigeria? And this is not fraud, this is clean business. Our mindset changed. There are many things she's doing now, like I talk level because I don't even need to be motivating and be told. Sometimes I say, hey, talk, why are you doing this? How are you doing that? No, this kind of, but now I'm like, okay, because she's going around pursuing things for herself because the thing has come from the inside. So if you have people around you like that, put salt in their mouth.
Okay, so I'm reading comments and I've listened to 2 callers who think it's impossible to do here. How do you, apart from the salt in the mouth, change this Nigerian popular mindset, that things can't work here? There's this, we just see, if you enter 2-3 ministry, they jam you. You just think until jackpot. So when you're mentoring somebody, the person most likely will use your resources in your office to jackpot. How do you change this pessimistic mindset?
It's a challenging thing because the environment continually fights it. So I give you an example from the point of being a pastor. I've been a pastor now. I've been in ministry now. By October, I'll be celebrating 35 years in full-time ministry. And I see how poor people in my church. Thousands of people. I was seeing churches like thousands. You see everywhere full. But in your mind, you are like, is this how these people will continue? Because you know that what will help them, they are not ready to do it. So I've pastored for 35 years. I've taught people, these are the things you need to do, this you need to, but they don't believe. They believe that it is pray for them. And one miracle will just happen.
Because it's unmerited favor we're all looking for.
No. The person that gave unmerited favor shed his blood. Anything that is free is not cheap. Somebody paid for it. So you see, you cannot pray your way into miracle when you are not the kind of person that can handle the miracle. You can't expect somebody to anoint you to be a pilot, anoint you to be a medical doctor, anoint you to be a billionaire. It doesn't work like that. So in our world today, no matter what you say, until people have encounters that changes that, you can't help them. I've the pastor people every week and they tell them, they are still there 30 years. And you are like, is it that difficult to make 1 million? But it's like, and I started with them. We're all trekking. So it's not as if I came from heaven. As I was practicing, I said, I've discovered this thing. 1998, when I came to it, I said, my people, all this, as we are paying 10% from now is a law. As you are bringing 10%, you must be saving 10%. Don't bring any 10% if you are not saving. You don't have a future without saving. 1998, 2024 now. I started doing it. Those that did it, they have changed something.
Not enough. So let's talk about the money is not enough. The money is not enough. I don't have enough. I can't pay for this training. It is those that have money that can attend these things and all of that. And some people are calling out that, how can you be a pastor and be charging this much money for a training? Don't you see the way the country is?
Like I've just said, to help us, like I've just said, I've been preaching for 35 years. I don't charge. I see preach yesterday. They didn't pay. So there is audience for everything. Now, there's a difference between Pastor Olumide Emmanuel and Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. Pastor Olumide Emmanuel is a pastor called of God, ordained of God, to use the word of God to help people to fulfill destiny. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is a man that have gone to train himself to become a professional in his field. He has 2 PhD, he has 2 masters, he pays school fees. Prayer and anointing oil was not the school fees that he paid. And then he uses that information to help businesses and organizations that are interested in doing that. And because of his faith-based belief, he does free events to help people, and then he does paid events for those that can afford to come into the paid event so that he can do something more intensive with them. Every information that you need is available on Google. You don't need to come to my seminar to have information. YouTube is there. It's just lazy mindset and mindset of people that don't understand the way the world works. And if you are coming to a meeting, go to Sheraton by yourself and ask them, how much is your hall to rent this hall? So by the time they go to Marriott Hotel, Marriott Banquet Hall right now is 7.5 million for 1 day. I'm doing 2 days meeting there, 15 million. So I pay 15 million for hall. You will now come for free. It's just so it's not for you.
Dr. Olumide,
that's why I said. That's why I said that this meeting now is not for everybody. We don't even need crowd.
I agree that you do your free events, but you are doctor and pastor, so there's no way there must be a meeting point, confluence inside these two. How many? Because you can see a potential in somebody who doesn't have the means.
Yeah.
You as you're gifted, so you see there will be 2-3 members of your church or your family or your neighborhood that you'd see 2-3 people and say, this person can grow, but this person I will give scholarship for every event.
Every year we do that.
Yeah. So how many have you been able to use as your example?
This year alone, we have given scholarship to 147 people. This year alone. Maybe I was here to talk about the January one, free and paid. The January one we did, I came here now to announce it on
Let me ask you, because then the sustainability summit, because there are people who are watching us internationally and thinking, how do I join? Because you've been going on a global tour, meeting Nigerians all over the world. Many of them are trying to start businesses, be entrepreneurs, do something home. And they would like to also attend this. Is there an online version for them to attend?
Most of our events are not virtual. They are actually in-house. You have to physically come. Why? You see, many times we don't realize that there are some things that are even not healthy. And I'm holistic in my view. You want to go for a meeting from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. online, as out now, to have your eye on the screen for 12 hours. It's not healthy. You can't walk. It can't work. So let's just face reality that everything is not for you. The one that is for you, go there. The one that is not for you, leave it for those that it is for. Don't argue that why are you people, they face the one will concern you. We are wasting time on what is not our business. There is so much. Look, the same people now, I will still be back because the free one again is in January. I will be back again to talk about the free one. They will still not come. You go to Abuja. When are you coming to Ilorin? You go to Ilorin. When are you coming to Port Harcourt? But we have only 2 American embassies in Nigeria. And when you want visa, you find your way. You find your way. People are not serious. I've been around enough with proofs and evidence and track record to tell you people are not serious. They are just looking for excuses to stay the way they are. People that are serious, when you are thirsty, you don't ask the river to look for you. You will look for water. When you are really thirsty, when you are really ready, you will go for it. So if you are ready, contact us.
Tell us again about
So the Business Sustainability Summit is coming up Friday, the 27th of this month of September, just a few weeks from now. It's a whole-day event. So if you are supposed to be with us for the whole day, you don't have the funds to do the fully residential version, just come. We'll start by 9 a.m. from 8 a.m. registration, start 9 to 5. And instead of 500,000, you pay 300,000. And I can tell you, when you come, well, I have a testimonial here. There are people that have come to our meetings, and you've been there, you were there last year. By the time they finish, they will now be bringing more money by themselves. They say, no, this thing is worth more than, or what else can we do? We have to pay. It's something we have seen. So it's 300,000 instead of 500,000. But if you want to be a part of the fully residential, then you will stay with us up to Saturday. Then we have a dinner, a coaching session. So we'll finish by 5. You go and rest. By 7, we'll now sit down and do a coaching session. And then on Saturday morning, we'll do another hangout over breakfast before you leave. So call the numbers on the screen, 0809 144 7423, 0809 144 7423, or 0802 305 9058, 0802 305 9058. And then pay before Friday. We have only 13 slots. And if you are not paying by this Friday, you either pay the full price or you wait till next year. And I believe very strongly that if we know better, we'll do better. So make sure that you are learning. Go online. There are a lot of courses on YouTube, absolutely free. With COVID, a lot of Ivy League universities all over the world have come up with a lot of courses, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, absolutely free. A lot of entrepreneurs, organizations, and philanthropists have put money into many institutions, sponsored them to come up with courses to give people relevant skills for the present day world. 4th Industrial Revolution, 5th Industrial Revolution, AI, robotics, analytics, coding, everything free. They are all online. Instead of using that 200 naira to be insulting and gossiping online and be talking about who did BBL, who disappointed who broke who did they serve breakfast, work on your life. Nobody grows young. Everybody grows old. You think you are young. Before you know it, you are 30, you are 40, you are 50. Work on your life. Fix your life. And stop wasting time on irrelevant things. Nobody will help you plan your life without your direct involvement. So if it's going to be, it's up to you. An object will remain stagnant until a force is applied. Your life will remain the same way it is until you do something meaningful about it.
Let's find some questions for you online. Let's see.
While we're waiting for questions to drop, okay, let me just put this. KG Nesta says, quoting you, When you try to motivate chicken to fly, you will frustrate yourself and the chicken. He said, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, word. So people should put that on their table and work with it. Yesterday I was driving from school shopping, and my son said, Mommy, problem is a good thing, right? I was confused. I was like, And I said, yes, now. The problem you find, when you find solution, you get money. And I've never had such a conversation before. So I was like, so which kind of problem you define now? Because me, I don't want problem. And he was like, yes, now you solve the problem and you sell it and you get money. So how should Nigerians be looking outside now? Because problem great full ground now.
Yeah, money.
Especially this petrol now.
Yeah, I've said it on this platform before.
Please, can I just add to that? Because the same thing. And also, for someone that is a hard worker, resilient, the whole works, but then they don't know what type of business they should do, or they don't know what they are passionate about. So let's tie it together.
So I've said it before. There are 10 places where money hides. It's in my book. Go to my social media platform. Everything is there. 10 places where money hides. Number one, money hides in people. We have over 8 billion people on earth, over 25 billion people in Lagos, about 270 million people in Nigeria. So this is people. Money is in people. If you solve problem for them, you will get money. Number two, money hides in problem. So every problem is money in disguise. Nobody pays you for the problem you identify. They pay you for the problem you solve. Everybody on earth today is making money by solving problems. The food seller is making money by solving your hunger problem. The school is solving money by solving education and ignorant problem. The landlord is solving shelter problem. And that's how it works. So if you want to make money, look for problem to solve. And once you're able, that's why I talk about the basic need. What are the basic needs? When you solve it, you are good to go. Then to come to your question, you see, there are things that we have been taught and that we have practiced that we later discover is not the ideal. When we're growing up in business, when I started out, you get a product and then you start looking for markets. Say, I have this product to come and buy. Then we later realize that it's a wrong formula. The first thing you're supposed to do is to go and look for a market, a ready market, a hungry market that is looking for something to solve a problem for them. You now create a product to go and give to them. At that point, the market is waiting for your product. Before now, we're told, pursue your passion, pursue your passion. And then people pursue passion. They ended up with passion. Why? Because we now realize that passion is powerful, but passion does not pay early. So pursue your passion. Stay focused on your passion. But while you are building and focusing on your passion, get something else you will do to sustain you before your passion begins to pay. Because passion does not pay early, but when it begins to pay, it can pay for life. And then, because you are pursuing your passion, does not mean you should not take advantage of the opportunity to make money that is around you. I don't think that all the people that are making money, is Dangote passionate about crude oil? Is he passionate about spaghetti or cement? Do you understand now? So it's maximizing the opportunities around because of the problem he has seen. Why did he go into fuel? He saw that this country is not doing, let me go and make money there. Because everywhere there is problem, there is money. So to answer that question, that pursue your passion, discover it, pursue it, but while you are pursuing it, get something doing. That will keep body and soul
wanted to mention
together.
this comment because, I mean, I think it's also similar to all the comments we've been seeing so far. So maybe this is something you also need to see as a problem to solve.
Okay.
Because this person is saying that I have opened 3 businesses for my wife and they have all failed. She has gone for trainings, yet the businesses have failed. So what is her problem? So obviously there are many people getting information, they are reading books, but they are still not getting through.
See, the missing link is mentorship. You see, many times when we talk about mentorship, people think we're just hyping this thing. Because you see, a mentor helps you to be able to contextualize your confusion. Because a mentor is one that has gone through what you have gone through before. One of my pastors came into my office with his wife. Arguments. Hungry. The guy has given this woman 3 million at a point, 5 million at a point. This same kind of story. Nothing was working. And the guy was frustrated. And they came. And as they were talking and talking and talking and talking, you see, she doesn't understand. I will give her money. She'll be selling on credit. She will not collect money. She'll be telling me, let's leave the money alone. So after they have said everything, so I asked him one question to go back to what I've said earlier. I said, did your wife ever come to you to say she wanted to start a business? Or you are the one that told her she should go and start a business? They kept quiet. They kept quiet. And the woman looked at me, and the way she looked at me, I said, speak. Don't be afraid, speak. You see, Pastor, I'm not a business person. I'm a career person. But the man feels You should be a business person. You should be a business person. So most of the time, that chicken cannot fly. The woman, if somebody is coming to tell you, I'll give you another example. 12 years ago, one of my pastor's wife, they came to me, problem. The wife was telling the husband, I need 80 million to start a school. 12 years ago, 80 million to start a school. And the man said, you are my wife. I know you have been in the educational sector. You cannot run a school. And the woman saw it as, you don't believe in me. How can you look down on me? You know, he said, no, you are a good person. But school is a business. You don't have the business skill. Because for you to be asking me for 80 million, it already shows you don't understand that you're supposed to start and grow. How many years ago? 12 years ago. This year, 2024, I sat down with the same woman. She wants to start a school. I said, so how much do you need? She said, 10 million.
Now she's ready.
Yeah.
She said 10 million. When she said 10 million, I knew she was ready. But I now told her, I said 10 million cannot work. Do you understand? I said, so let's look at it. Now the school have started. And everything that has been spent on that school, less than 60 million. Powerful. Started. Children are resuming now. So many times, these things, when you have a mentor, they'll be able to help you. So don't force
That's
it.
all we can take on today's show. Thank you so much, Dr. Olumide. It's always a pleasure having you.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thank you for having me.
Learn from you. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.